How would you describe the essence of TTT?
The essence of TTT can best be captured as some lessons can never be taught; they can only be learned. And what that translates to is completely subjective of each person who participates and attend. But some of the things that we share and discuss in TTT, you'll never get as an object lesson in your life, and so you only have to have the experience of TTT to kind of understand how all of that is captured.
How has TTT evolved over the 3 years of its existence?
I believe Touchy Topics Tuesday has set the standard for a different kind of community. We are probably the prototype for developing and maintaining committed relationships across varied experiences, thought processes, and especially racial segregation.
Tiffany, what challenges have you encountered over the 3 years?
Many. Maybe a better question is what challenges have I yet to face? But one of the more frequent challenges, or most frequent challenges, is to remain committed when a particular contributor decides to leave the group. And so that leaves a collective sense of loss and a shared sense of responsibility for that person's decision. And since we do build relationships as the foundation to these discussions, then that is a loss that's felt in our community.
Over the 3 years, some people have come and gone, and others have continued on with the group. Do you have any insights you can share about why some depart and others continue on?
Sure. I believe that the model that TTT has built on itself, I believe it forces an intentional deep dive to uncover our implicit biases and trying to balance that with forming these new relationships. It all feels counterintuitive to how we're used to entering relationships, and so that's something to balance, to learn to balance, and you kind of have to just navigate it. There are no rules to navigating this, and so some people just opt out.
What was the impetus of spinning off a second group?
Necessity. The necessity of it. So the original group of participants, who I call contributors because we all contribute to the essence of TTT, the original group was getting larger and people were traveling into our location or to our various locations from other communities in the regions. They got the value of the experience of TTT and saw a need for it in their own communities where they live, worked, or played. And so Sarah Reese was actually instrumental in making Webster Groves the original spinoff group, which is her community, and I'm so grateful for her help with that.
Tiffany, how has TTT impacted you personally?
TTT has added tremendous value to my life in so many ways. Primarily, it's the value add that I have in all of my respective relationships with every participant, contributor of TTT. I don't think I would have given myself the opportunity to explore those relationships without this group. Also, it has really empowered me to be courageous, humble, transparent, and unapologetic as I navigate through every area of my life in the construct of a racial divide.
What is your vision for what the future holds for TTT?
I believe that if by virtue of a small group of people collectively got together and decided that segregation based on race was going to be intentional and it worked, I believe then by that same virtue of a small group of people getting together and intentionally desegregating ourselves first and taking that back into our community, I believe it's going to be the antithesis to intentional segregation. And that's my vision for TTT.